My Aunt Virginia recently gave me this as a gift. It's her color theory project from 1979. We've got 16 circles of colored paper over 16 squares, and you'll notice that the gradations of color are going in two different directions, right? We start with a golden yellow circle here, and we get oranger and oranger, and then redder, and then finally a purplish red, and then the blue to green in the squares goes the opposite way. So each color combination only happens once, and you'll see there's a couple kind of in the middle where the lightness scales kind of equal out. So like this guy is an orange over a bluish green that are about equal lightness, and the effect is really striking. The colored papers that my aunt cut and assembled about 45 years ago, I mean, they're still really strikingly vibrant, which is pretty amazing. Her memories of that color theory course were also surprisingly vivid. The teacher was so kind and nurturing, and so I had to know who was it. And she said, I still remember his name, Wojciech Fangor. How could you forget a name like that? Fangor, he was kind of a big deal. He was part of the op art movement. His work might remind you of Kenneth Noland or Mark Rothko or even Josef Albers. He was the first Polish artist to have a solo exhibition at the Guggenheim. That was in 1970. So, like, here's this internationally renowned artist teaching a first-year art and design course in Fairleigh Dickinson, New Jersey. That's kind of incredible. And what's really interesting to me is that he was teaching this curriculum. This is a product of a number of exercises where you're looking at how colors interact, how they influence each other perceptually. And of course, that comes from Josef Albers' 1963 Interaction of Color, which is still an incredibly influential and widely used textbook in college art and design programs. So much so that you can still buy the exact same set of papers that my aunt used in 1979 to create this color aid. All right, let's check this out. They don't have the circle on the back anymore. Back in the day, they had this wheel printed on the box based on the pre-scientific pigment primaries red, yellow, and blue. All right, what's this? Ooh, a booklet. Red, yellow, green, and blue represent the unitary hues. Holy cow. Guys, I'm flipping out about this. We've got yellow and blue, and they're kind of opposite each other, but they still got red and green instead of red and blue-green across from each other. So it's not a perceptual wheel, but it's also not a red, yellow, blue wheel, right? Because these red, yellow, and blue are not... Wow, they've actually updated their science. I think this is kind of a big deal, because if you're a teacher teaching the interaction of color and using color aid paper in a design course, you're probably, like Albers, invested in the Bauhaus concept of color theory, which is very much a red, yellow, blue model. All of the color harmonies are based on the red, yellow, blue wheel. So for color aid to be using something a little more like C-Lab or a more scientific space, based on the psychological primaries or the unitary hues, I still don't quite know what that means. It could cause some confusion. It could cause some friction. Has it affected the way that they've formulated their colors in this new edition of the Color Aid papers? This is a whole rabbit hole I'm going to have to go down. Well, I'm definitely inspired, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with these. I hope you tune in to see what I make with them.